Deirdre Morgan here, intuitive and clarity coach, with a few quick tips for how to navigate this September. This September is what I call a double dip month. It means we got double energy, and the energy is of the 9 frequency. How do we come about that? First of all, remember 2025 resonates to the 9, 2 and 2 plus 5, universal frequency. So it's the playing field that we all must connect to during the year when we co-create. September is the 9th month of the calendar year, which indicates 9 calendar month. We got to use that 9. And 9 universal playing field equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. There's the, double dip. The 9s create a third 9. It indicates that the time is now. The success, the accomplishment, which is the shifts in your consciousness, your awareness, your approach to life, how you think about yourself, is now coming full circle, and it's time for you to acknowledge it, accept it, and allow it into your life so that you act and live from it all. Oh, this is exciting. It really is. It's about simply allowing things to be. And the 9-9 declares an end to the doubt, fear, lack mentality as the basis of organizing your life and how you approach life. The 999 indicates an end to the suffering that lack or scarcity creates. And it also indicates, because the alpha is the omega is the alpha, it's endings, beginnings, endings of this all one at the end of the day. It's the start of a restoration or a return to your authentic self. This is why I'm so happy and excited about this month. We, each and all of us, can do it. It's a major reboot that we have the opportunity to move into. And as I was thinking about all this, I remembered a story that I used to tell maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it just sort of has eluded me. It's the story of Adelita, a sea turtle that lived in a research lab off the coast of Mexico for 10 years. And around the end of the 10th year, the powers that be decided she had served well enough, and it was time to return her to the ocean, to her true home. So they packed her up and put her on a boat. And as they packed her up, though, they put a chip in her so that they could track her journey, where she was going and how she was going to get there. They lowered her into the sea and watched her paddle off, when all of a sudden, to their amazement, she stopped. And she began to paddle around in circles. And this lasted quite a while, and they all looked at each other and said, is she coming back? Is she going to go forward? What's she doing? Why is this happening? But quite suddenly, she paddled forward and went on and on for a while, and then she stopped again. And she paddled around for a while, repeated the same, and then she moved on again. This happened 8, 10, I don't know, dozen times, when quite suddenly, one of the men figured it out. Adelita was paddling the length of the tank she had lived in for 10 years. She paddled to her comfort zone. And when there was no wall, she had to stop, think about that, and review and figure things out before she moved on. And this was her pattern. And she gradually, I believe, outgrew it and paddled her way up to the coast of Alaska, where she is to this day, I suppose, living happily. And why am I telling you this story? Okay? Because this is exactly what we do when we're evolving and changing and expanding and growing. We paddle out into the new territory. And then there may be problems or issues, so we paddle around. Did I make the right decision? What do I do next? What am I going to do? You know, we review, we reflect, and then we choose. Do I move on? Do I align with this new environment, or do I go back? Do I resolve the emotional scars that have resurfaced? Which is important to me. Now, hopefully, in this journey we're taking this month and for the next couple of months, you will work through whatever needs to be done and paddle through those unconscious boundaries, your comfort zone, in order to create the life, the person that you want to be. It's a breakthrough. We stop, we ponder. I call them plateaus. It gives us time to assess things, reevaluate things, get clear, because clarity is everything when we're manifesting. And this is why, too, we don't go from A to B. We don't go from Mexico to Alaska in one breath. It's because we have been living in a matrix of structure, of taking it, in this case, step by step. And we've created this dynamic of separation in order to feel safe and secure with ourselves. So if you take the leap and move into new territory to have a new adventure, a new experience, please be understanding of this process. Be patient. It will avoid judging it and getting all wrapped up in struggle, delay, and drama. So just let things be and watch everything work out easily. Now, how do we do this, Well, first of all, I encourage you, let go of your past. Focusing on the emotional scars was necessary for us to heal them. But for the most part, you've healed them. For the most part, if you've been doing your work, you've really healed them. That doesn't mean they aren't still there. It simply means they aren't strong enough to take over your life, to influence it. So, and the fact is, you've survived them. And so you are stronger within yourself to find solutions and to move past them. Why hang on to a past event that causes you stress, anxiety, worry, maybe even frustration and depression? Reality isn't fixed. And I'm drawing now on Seth, Jane Roberts' guide, an entity from another dimension. And he said, and I love quoting Seth, reality isn't fixed. It's a living story you can rewrite. Even the limits you think are just life, such as fear, struggle, hard work, aging, and fate, are only there because you believe they have to be. And the minute you change your beliefs, reality bends to you. This has been proven. So, how do you manipulate the reality? The world you experience tomorrow depends on what you believe right now. Live a fake script or wake up and realize I'm the author. I can let go of those past emotional scars. I can let go of leaning on them and letting them influence my choices, my decisions. Or not. But realize, do you want to spend your entire life in someone else's story? When, if you pay attention, reality itself will answer to you. So if you see life as exciting, as an adventure, as promising, as successful, that is what you'll experience. And you can keep going, but that hasn't how it's worked for me. Well, no, because you've been focused on these sad, scarring events from your past, and you spend all your time protecting yourself from experiencing more. When if you think about it, you've already survived them. And if they happen again, you'll take care of it in short, swift this time. So accept that you're in a different space, that you're much more comfortable and much more secure with who you are. And you are, believe it or not, you just need to own it. And that is why 9 says celebrate, honor, which can mean acknowledge who you've become, who you've returned to be authentic, real, a light. There's also one reason we have trouble letting go is our fear of loss. There's nothing to lose. Again, it's your belief. And let's also, thirdly, adopt a new definition of love. The old definition of love is if you love me, you'll do what it takes so I can be happy. The new definition of love, accept and allow a person to be who they are. Okay? So, what if you let go of the old definition? What if you let go of the need to control or the need to have someone else fill your needs and be your happiness? What if you loved without need or your terms only? What if you accepted change, as all life is temporary and the impermanence of all things, and found the opportunity, found the good or the beautiful in what is and what is in flow rather than structure? Eliminate structure in your daily life. Structures create separation rather than connection and cohesiveness and coherence within you and in your life. You know all this. You're even perhaps living it unconsciously, but this September says now. If not now, when? Allow the reboot. Recognize that any suffering, any upset, anger, sadness, resentment, the low vibe emotions, you do not suffer because things change. You and I suffer because we don't want change. We resist change. We want things to stay the same. And it's time to reboot. It's time to see change as becoming bigger, better, more expansive, a new bright adventure. Allow and accept new words for us. Choose them, please. They're very action oriented, and life will just open up and begin to flow much more easily for you. So please, above all, stay in the moment. Don't go to the past. Why go to the past, which is causing you fear, frustration, anxiety, stress? Why spend your time that way on something you cannot change? Except you can change its influence in your life by seeing how that event made you stronger, perhaps smarter or wiser, and more secure within yourself. Because when we overcome our problems, our challenges, the disappointments, the hurts in life, we grow within. So please stay in the present. Appreciate being here. Can be a really fun, happy, joyous place. It's up to you to create it. And that is what shifts our planet. That's where we get to really know and play with each other and be with each other heart to heart. So, in closing, I would say drink lots of water. The body is overtaxed. You may have days where you are exhausted. And I believe most of this exhaustion is due to the spiritual warfare going on inside you. Do I expand or do I stay still? But if I stay where I am, it's only going to constrict. But moving on, oh my gosh, that's scary. Good old Eleanor. If you fear it, do it. Now you've heard all this from me. You know it by heart. Knowing isn't enough anymore. It's time to live it. And 9 is saying, come on, honor, celebrate who you are. Acknowledge the shifts, embrace change, go for the gold. And remember, it's all about love. Everything else is incidental. And I'll see you next month.